Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Terezi E.
Thank you, Quarnsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym, or tells us he simply didn't have time, you drink. And if I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for just $1.08 or more, but please more. Please much more.
Bucks.
We've spent all of our money on bots in the tournament, so we need to be replenished. But speaking of drinking, gentlemen, what are you drinking? And are we on the quest? My Sock Summer, are we on the quest for 50 with you tonight?
No. We could have been, but I already drank this. I'm drinking a spiced pear whiskey sour. Why? Because I'm lazy and it was in the fridge and my wife doesn't like it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking drink this. I was going to make myself something nice, like a coffee liqueur, old fashioned, or something. I was going to mess around, do some shit. And then I was like, I'm fucking too lazy for this. I ain't got time for this shit. I'm going to drink the spicy pear thing that's already cold. It's fantastic.
Spicy pear. Well, let's drink because he didn't have time.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
Bless you. I want to make bank, bro. I want to get ass.
Yes. So
it's our motto.
Beef, what are you drinking? And are you doing us?
I am also not on the quest, but this is just more. This was a busy week to kind of get myself in position for next week so that I can be all good for every event and everything. And Treasy, we got some stuff to do too. We got to just do a little testing out for the Sunday soak. Got some bags to pack up for all you people for the live show. So it was a hustle early in the week. We're good now. But I got old standby. I got some Miller High Life that is left over from when Slim Mick and I did the fantasy draft. So they're obviously lucky, and I'm going to have a couple, 2, 3, 6 of these during the show.
I was having that during the tournament show.
Delicioso.
But shit. I couldn't leave us hang. I couldn't let us not get something off the list. And man, I'm going to pay for this one. This is the On the Rocks strawberry daiquiri.
Wow, look at that.
It is basically Kool-Aid. So this is it's a dangerous night night here. So we'll see how this goes. We got a drink from our friend Aloha Mr. Handy. Says chug. I'm not going to chug this.
How about cheers? We'll do that instead.
It's a good one. Cheers.
My lips are going to be red. I'm going to look like I was drinking Bartles and James by the end of this.
Oh man, those are the good old days for you.
Tadahito knows. Enjoy the hangover, and that is correct.
Yeah, they'll get fucked up too. They got me fucked.
I mean, there's plenty of rum in it,
that's good. At least it's offset, So
I think that was what I was supposed to buy instead of the Cosmopolitan.
That's probably what you did. That's probably what you had the right color.
Yeah,
you had the right color. So proud of you. Proud of you for that.
Kind of stupid. I'm a little stupid sometimes. I get it.
You did good.
I know.
Don't worry about it.
We'll have a guest on pretty soon, but while we're hanging out, we did see Beef Shane Smith got the spot on the roster. Yeah. They did not say if he's in the rotation. So that's still out there. That's still open. I think I'm on the side of he should be in the rotation. I know you're on the side of it. They could use him a lot more creatively, but I want to know if that's changed for you. Because when we talked about it last, we were like, you were going on about Drew Thorpe's going to come up at some point in the near future, and he's going to push whoever one of the pitchers out of the rotation.
Right.
Drew Thorpe leaves the game today. Are you still on that, or do you think now it should be Shane Smith?
Yeah, no, I switched. I've changed course. Now it should be Shane Smith and ride or die with him. Because even if let's say he doesn't need surgery, Drew Thorpe doesn't need surgery, But this is just going to extend the time period anyway. Let's say if they get lucky, you don't need Tommy John. If I were betting, I'd say Tommy John is probably going to happen. But let's say you don't need Tommy John and it's going to be further out there. Fucking give the guy some runway then. Because in 2 months, some other shit will have happened. And you won't have to worry about it. There'll be space for somebody to jump up in here if someone's deserving. So I'm less worried about it. I was more worried about it when it was going to be like 3 weeks. And then, oh shit, now you got to move this guy. I don't want to jerk around, Shane Smith. And so it doesn't look like they'll have to. It looks like they'll be able to go. What I wonder, though, is they don't need a fifth starter right away because of the off days. I wonder if they'll stay on course and give kind of everyone more time off, or if they'll start with 4 starters because of the off days and use them out of the pen once or twice and then start them. So it'll be interesting to see how they end up using.
Well, we'll get one Jonathan Gannon start where he doesn't get out of the first. And so then someone's got to go 5 innings. Got to do the Cueto start.
Yeah. It's going to be perfect for him. It's going to be perfect for him to step in and do that shit. I also wonder too, like, I know that, like, because Rule 5, if they get rid of him, right, like, he has to be on the roster. If they
he's got to be on the roster.
Their only other option was to send him back to the Brewers with some money.
Yep.
They got so,
and we know
they don't want
our owner ain't doing that. He ain't giving them money. We're like, fuck, we need an arm. So I liked the video. I thought the sentiment was good and all that. Everything was great all around. But I was like, bitch, you had to do this. It's like me waking up. It's like, yeah, man. Everyone applaud. I took my kid to school today.
They definitely didn't have to do it. They definitely didn't have to do
They didn't have to, but
if he stunk
to. I agree with MSS. If they didn't do it, guys like us would be in these little boxes on StreamYard fucking screaming about I should have done it. They should have brought him on the team.
But they dumped last year's Rule 5 too, right? Like,
they did?
That's true, but it's not that he showed out though. That's the difference. Shane Smith showed out.
That's what I'm saying, Beef. If Shane Smith would have stunk, then they could have
sent him back. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but
he deserved.
You got to give him some credit. Don't act like it's just they had to do this.
No, I'm just saying the video was a little over the like that's fine and all, but it's like you kind of.
I love the video. I love the video.
I was too, but I'm saying
I quote tweeted. I said guys will be like hell yeah, and I because I was like hell yeah when I saw that. Let's get this one question here real quick. John Carney says the Cease trade's looking like a dud. Talking off the ledge. Yeah, the Cease trade looks like shit right now. No offense, but we have a lot of time still on it. There's still a lot of time for all these guys, some of them to become something. And Cease hasn't really bowled over the world with the Padres. They're already fucking looking to turn him because the team's not doing that well and they're kind of falling out.
Money
so yes, it looks like shit right now, but we still got some time to recover from it. Is all I'll say. So that's as best I can do, John, because it looks kind of crappy right now.
All right.
Our
bill here.
Guest has arrived in the backstage. I know MSS, you're going to need to pay some bills. So why don't we do that first?
Looking for delicious seafood options that are Jesus approved this Lenten season? Look no further than Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp. We've got a wide variety of mouth-watering options to satisfy your cravings, including succulent shrimp, flaky fish, and even crispy frog legs. Whether you're observing Lent or simply looking for a tasty meal, our seafood is sure to hit the spot. And remember, make it a combo for only $5 more. Stop by one of our 4 locations today or visit our website at chicagoshrimp.com to place an order for pickup or delivery. Come see why Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp has been serving up the seafood you crave since 1950.
All right. We got to give him a second. I see he's getting ready.
You see that there. MSS? Lawrence is in there, so they need the exact art for a billboard. So let's go. They have a YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel now. All right.
Oh boy.
We're going to come on. Maybe even curse free. I doubt it, but we'd be willing to. So we'll see.
To not curse?
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
Man.
That'd be tough.
We do 3 minutes. We do 3 minutes.
If you don't want cursing, the next 30 minutes is going to go very poorly for you.
My goodness.
Quickly introduce our friend here. He's the host of Chicken Dinner Thursday nights. You can find him from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday with Joe Ostrowski on Bet Sweats. That's on the YouTubes. Easy to find. BetMGM Network. And he's the reason that sometimes on a Friday night, I will pass out on my couch at 6 p.m. He's Sam Panayotovich. He's our friend. He's a great drinking buddy, but he's also our betting expert, and he's live from Las Vegas.
Hell yeah.
What hotel room are you in right now so that people could come visit you, Sam?
We are in the 29th floor at the Westgate. I'm not going to give you the room, though. It's a nice room. I can actually, if you want, My Sox Summer, I can give you a tour of the patio. It's very nice here.
Well, I mean, as awesome as that sounds, I know your time is limited, and these boys have some questions for you.
I'm cooked, boys. It's been a long day.
You all right? You okay?
No,
How you holding up?
I'm going to put my real glasses on.
Did you take Kansas? Because I see they lost.
No, we didn't bet Kansas. We went 3-1 today. We lost Tennessee. Tennessee was like right there, but it was a good day so far. We like Michigan tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I took them too, but I don't know.
And no High Point, from what I heard. No High Point.
High Point's dead. Yeah.
High Point's dead.
I was on High Point. They were armed this morning.
And you're dead.
I shouldn't have woke up. I shouldn't have woke up as early as I did.
High Point is like the White Sox last year, dead. By the way, before we do anything else, I just want to say that when I saw the White Sox tweet the opening day starter, no idea who he is. Like, I have no idea who that guy is. Is that bad? Or is that
Extreme confidence, Stam. That's what it is. Extreme confidence now.
It's not great, but last year, Crochet, we all were panning that move too, and that turned out really well. So
stop. He was a high pick. This guy's a bum.
Well,
yeah, 10th overall pick for a third rounder. It's a big difference.
That's true.
So I think that leads us perfectly into our first question for you, Sammy. So like the current over under for the Sox is 53.5. Now, me and Beef got that at 49.5. We got the over at 49.5 right when it came out. And so now that you've seen a little bit of the White Sox, are we geniuses for getting it that early, or is it still a terrible bet?
I mean, you guys got a good number, and that's half the battle. But it takes me back to when I moved to Vegas, and you guys all know who Roxy is, right? Roxy Roxborough.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was the 2018 offseason going into the year. And I remember they opened the win total like 66.5. And I was like banging the desk over because they were going to call up all these guys, right? Like Kopech and like you name the guy.
Moncada and all them guys.
Moncada, number one prospect in baseball.
Lucas Giolito, everyone, man. We had the band, man. Raylo Lopez.
The total goes from 66.5 to like 71, 72. And I meet Roxy for the first time. It's like right before opening day. And Roxy pulls me aside and says, I just want to thank you for drilling the White Sox over because I hammered the under. And he's like the greatest baseball gambler that ever lived. And he thanked me for banging the drum all the way up. And I don't remember how many games they won. It was like 62, 63. They went under all the numbers. So getting a good number is more than half the battle, but it doesn't mean you're going to win. And I see this rotation and I see the lineups. Fingers crossed, I think. I mean, it's hard to lose that many games, but they're bad, guys. They're very bad.
This is a bad team. We're betting on them losing 112. That's the bet. So
yeah, I mean, you mentioned how bad the offense is. I am a subscriber to Joe Sheehan newsletter. He's starting to put out his predictions, and today he had the White Sox in the blog for the prediction. He predicted them to score only 499 runs. Now, remember how bad the White Sox offense was last year? They scored 507 runs last year.
Yeah.
So he's predicting they're going to be even worse on the offensive side. And it's hard to you say it's hard to lose that many games. It's hard to win much if you have the worst offense ever too. So as much as I love our number, I've been getting a little nervous the last few days, Trees.
The only silver lining is that there's not really a dominant team in the division. And you look at the win total for the Tigers, the Guardians, Indians, the Royals, these teams, they don't have big win numbers. Even, like the Twins, it's all 83.5, 84.5. So
yeah,
maybe the Royals take a dip. Maybe the Guardians aren't as good. It's not like you're playing in a loaded division. And I think when you look at a team like the Rockies, who I did bet to be the worst team in baseball, they got the Dodgers, they got the Padres, they got the Giants, the Diamondbacks. You're playing teams that are clearly better than you. Dodgers are going to be a 105, 110 win team. The Padres are solid. The Diamondbacks went to the World Series 2 years ago. So I think the silver lining, guys, is that this division fucking sucks. That's how we get there. And I don't know that that's the most exciting thing in the world, but there's not a dominant team. Like, would you guys feel like solidly about any of these teams on any given night? I wouldn't.
No, absolutely.
And
not.
I mean, even the Guardians, who like were definitely a thorn in our has been a thorn in our sides for years. I mean, like them trading off Naylor is just like, well, thank you. I mean, they just do a lot of those things, and it's just like they kind of keep themselves at a certain level that they feel they could win the division, and not much more than that. So, I mean, Sam, I will say, me and Beef both bet yesterday over 83.5 on the Twins, though. So we're not we're not totally out on the division, but 85 wins for the Twins. About there,
I see this comment here. I'm in the chat. Timothy Maher here. No one has ever been as bad as the Sox. I mean, yes, but that's last year. I would argue their manager was the biggest idiot in the major leagues. So look, here's the thing that I hear from wise guys. They like the new manager. I have no opinion on it because I don't know. But I do feel like Grifol was, I watched a lot of White Sox games last year. I felt like his bullpen management was atrocious. And that's me watching from afar. So, this guy comes from a really nice tree. He worked under a lot of really good managers and a lot of good franchises. So I think there's hope that the team buys in and that he will stylistically put them in positions to succeed. And when you look at a win total, guys, it's the lowest I've ever seen on the Open. We've never seen a Major League Baseball team open 59.5. Even the A's last year opened like 65, 64. Like, this is historically low. And as you guys bet, like, the money sharp came in over. They bet over 59.5.
Yeah, 49.5 went up to 52.5 like nothing. Like, it was quick, And we were like, oh shit, man, we wish we got more 49.5. And then as we get closer to the season, I get the bubble guts a little bit, just so we're worried about it.
I said 59.5. I forgot it was 49.5.
That's a low number. That's a low number.
Mess that up. I have been drinking for 8 hours, but like that's
it's like getting 2.5 on NFL total.
Either way, it's the lowest win total in the history of Major League Baseball, and I understand it, but I don't agree with it.
All right, Sam. So we're going to try this again. We did this back in 2020 and caused a global pandemic, but we're going to go for this again. You're going to give us some over-unders, and we're going to pick. We're going to see where we all land. So throw a few over-unders at us.
Sean Burke, over-under 1.5 wins.
I'm over.
Hitting the button hard. Opening starter. That's got to give him some shot.
So honestly, I would make the number 9.5 on Burke. I don't know a lot about
ridiculous.
him. I feel like that's fair. And the thing is, he could pitch well and not win. The old Quintana. Yeah. Remember, Quintana would have an ERA in the 3s and be 7-14 or whatever. Like, he's on a bad team. But he is the opening day guy. So that's where I started. Sean Burke, 9.5 wins.
Man, that's tough.
I'm going to go under. Yeah, I'm going to go under on it.
Good number.
I feel like the team's just bad enough that like the under could easily hit. And he could have a fine year, or there's always risk that Sean Burke goes to the minor leagues at some point in this season too. So like I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under and I hope to be wrong.
Yeah, I would also go under. It just doesn't seem sexy, and no, yeah, I'd have to go under because I just don't think I can't even remember. I'm looking right now at how many wins Crochet had last year, and
6.
It's 6. So he was like our
Eric Fetty had 7.
pitcher, and Fetty had 7. He didn't even pitch for us in the second half. So
Fetty had 7, 21
Crochet
starts.
got pulled early a lot. So
that was the problem. So in the second half, he was ineligible to get wins because he's coming out before the 5th inning. So that was kind of a problem there. And so
we were so smart. hey, we're gonna throw this guy 3 innings. Like that'll fix everything.
Just to make sure he gets his 32 starts. We gotta make sure he gets there.
I feel if you would have said 8.5, I would have taken the over, but I just can't. I don't see him getting 10 wins. Like I just don't. I can't. No, I gotta go under.
I'm trying to think like this team. Let's say this team even surprises just a little bit and gets to 60 something wins. It's tough not to have one starter that has 10 wins. It's arduous to not do so. And then is there anyone else who's like a lock for that out of this group? I don't think so. I mean, I'll go over, but sheepishly. I wish the over was plus 120 or something like that, Sam, or plus 130. Then I feel a little better. 115, all right, I'll take it. Plus 115, I'll take it. I'm in on the over then.
Okay, so my next number is a fun one, and I think the chat's going to have fun with this one. Games played by Luis Robert. There we go, right?
Yeah. My guy, baby.
115.5.
115.5.
So they all have to be with the Sox.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's say he stays with the Sox all year. It's 115.5.
Okay.
Man.
I mean, if he stays with the Sox all season, he's way under 115.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because they'll trade him if he's or he's played 116 of the worst games you've ever seen. So like, there's no. I would say like if he's with the Sox the whole season, I'm going to go under.
Go ahead, MSS.
I'm going to take over. I'm going to go with the over because I think he's trying to prove it. He's trying to get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I'm going to go with over, but I don't know if he finishes the season with the Sox.
Yeah, I'm going to also say over. I think the plan this year with the White Sox is to sometimes DH him and kind of get him off his legs. I think they've seen enough of him struggling with his fucking legs, and I think they're gonna put him on in the DH spot more often than he's ever been used to. He might fucking hate it, but I think there's going to be a big opportunity that does happen. And you know what? There's no guarantee they trade him, Treasy. There's no guarantee anyone gives the price.
That's true.
Because everyone's been scared in the preseason, spring training to actually, make a reasonable offer for Luis. Maybe there'll still be a disconnect, and you got to finish a full season where you're healthy before anyone's interested. So I'll go.
Okay. Before I get to my next market, I want to shout out my guy Baloney in the chat. I see him chirping. Baloney voted for a Cub fan, Eddie Barstool, in the 108 tournament. You know that, right?
Yes,
Baloney
I've heard
his way to endorse Eddie Barstool, who I love. Baloney. What the fuck, dude? Like, honestly, really? Okay, next market. Benintendi. Home runs. Okay, so he hit 5 in 23. He hit 20 last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great contract, right? We're going to go
so far, so good.
14.5 Benintendi home runs.
Oof.
What'd you say?
14.5.
Over. Yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident because he ended the season last. Now the only thing that would be give me pause is his hand because his paws hurt.
That was a big pause. He broke his goddamn hand.
Broke his hand,
and he's coming back already.
he's trying to make opening day.
At the end of last year, he was smashing balls left and right. So like he finally figured it out. Maybe I don't know. I mean, he's old enough; he should know. But yeah, the paw is the thing. But I'm going to take the over. I would take the over on that.
I'm a known hater, so go ahead, Beef.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the under only because a couple things. One, we're starting off with the hand, so we're not sure how the timing's going to look, etc. Two, I think that the White Sox are going to last year it was play Andrew Benintendi no matter fucking what, always in the lineup all the time and hitting third, right? They're not going to do that this year. They're going to pull him out against tough lefties, or he'll hit further down in the lineup. They're going to find more ways to give him some rest and let Will Venable learn how to manage and rotate the team around and make moves like that. They're going to pull him out of the outfield for a shitty-ass fucking defense at the end of the game. So I think the opportunities are going to be shrunk. So I'll go under 14.5. I just don't think he's going to get the same amount of opportunities. And that was a lot of home runs for Andrew Benintendi last year.
It was.
Yeah, I think two things fuck him up other than his hand not working. Is like one is going into the season, I was like, you know what, they're going to DH him a bunch. But I think Brandon Drury fucks that up for him because they didn't want to have like an everyday DH, but they found a guy who can hit home runs and can't play the field at all. So a lot of those. And then I think in the outfield, he's not that good. So it's not a huge downgrade to give some of his at bats to like an Austin Slater when they're going against the lefty. So I think he has a lot less plate appearances than I thought he was going to have going into the season. So I'll say under. I'll say he'll go 13 home runs for MSS 13 down there.
Bunch
I
of
love
fucking
this
haters.
comment here from John Carney. Bring back the goose. He'll hit 30. Great. It's great.
MSS knows where the goose is.
It's
you know
on
where
the
goose is, don't you?
It's on the roof at the salt shed. That's what we were told.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, because they got a brew pub over there. It's on the roof upstairs. So when people go smoke cigarettes, they can hang out with the goose. So
when people are being drowned in the river, they could see the goose is the last thing they
goose
see.
watches over
Smiley face
all
killer
the
throws you in,
murderers.
and you can see the goose on your way out.
So
Goose
Grandal
watches
hit the
all the
goose.
murders.
Grandal hit the goose once and never hit it again. But when he first hit it, I was pumped. Remember when we got Grandal? Remember when we got Dallas Keuchel? Remember how pumped we were?
I do. Yes.
We wrote about how it was the end of the rebuild when they got Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, they got Keuchel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this is it, man. We did it.
Yeah,
It was the end of the rebuild, but not in a good way.
That was like a highest read blog for a while too, wasn't it, Pat?
It was, yeah.
Until Violet Myers came on the scene, and then it just got. it's done.
People like to read about pornography.
Yeah.
Just remember, we were going to contend for the entire decade, and here we are rebuilding again. You know, that is
Our
important. Okay, this one's polarizing because I know one of you guys likes Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn batting average 250 over under.
Oh, okay.
So
Last
I'll
year
go
he was
first.
246, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I will go first, and I'm going to say something positive about Andrew Vaughn. I think Andrew Vaughn's power numbers go up this year. I think his average, though, might take a hit because my assumption, and what I would do is if I'm Ryan Fuller, I told you this the other day, Beef, I would tell Andrew Vaughn, if you see a slider coming, don't ever swing at it. You don't know how to do anything with that pitch. If it strikes you out, we don't care. Just don't try and hit it. It'll be a double play at best. So he's going to be looking fastball, focused in on the fastball. I think his power numbers go up, but the average takes a dip. That's where I'm at with Vaughn.
I want to, as a veteran on this team, Andrew Vaughn, to say that he is going to know that the team is going to need some timely hitting and some good hits. So he's going to show up and he's going to get hits and he's going to raise that average. But after watching Andrew Vaughn for the past however many years, I know that's not going to happen. So I'm going to take the under. He's not growing in his average at all because I have no faith in him until he shows me that I should have some faith in him. I'm out on this guy. I'm out on Andrew Vaughn.
You guys, let me tell you something. You guys are bearing the lead, okay? Because for years, Andrew Vaughn, top prospect, can't miss, and all these White Sox fans, and we were the group saying, we don't think so. And one of the reasons we're saying that is because we're saying he's not really 6 feet tall. He's shorter than that. He's a small guy. And guess what? He admitted this year, they put him on MLB now. He's only 5'10". He went from 6 foot down to 5'10".
That's
the pressure
hilarious.
is off of an Andrew Vaughn. The monkey is off his back. He's no longer a 6 foot power hitter. 5'10", batting average guy. And so he's going to go way over this 250. I would bet the alt line and go over 265 on Andrew Vaughn. I think that's the kind of hitter he's going to become because he got the monkey off his back. He doesn't have to be the power hitter. He's a short motherfucker now, and he can admit he's a short motherfucker, and we're good.
He comes out with a short king neck tattoo, then I'll believe what you're
It's
giving
happening,
me.
baby. Let's go.
Sam, back to you on like over-unders. 5'11" over under for Andrew Vaughn. Which one is it? Was he 6 foot or is he 5'10"? Which
Is
one?
he wearing heels or no? If he's wearing heels, it's over.
If he's wearing heels, I'm going over on the 250 too.
He's wearing
by the
heels.
way,
Eddie Murphy's interested.
The man who I teased that liked Vaughn is clearly Beef. I mean, I've never seen Beef this animated in his life.
I can't stand Andrew Vaughn. He's been horrible, but I think he goes over this. I think like this is going to be because I've been owed this for 4 years because I've been shitting all over Andrew Vaughn. I've been right every step of the way. But all these guys, they're still they like chirp a little bit. It's like Andrew Vaughn's not really as bad as some of the White Sox bloggers say he is or whatever. And he'll have a year this year will hit like 275. 17 homers, like 85 RBIs, and they'll be like, I told you, you're a fucking idiot, Beef. He's actually good, which is shitty numbers for a first baseman. Who cares? He still fucking sucks. But I guarantee that's going to happen this year again.
CD44 says Chipotle and Vaughn optimism from the Loft today.
I'll explain the Chipotle later. All right.
Okay.
I'll explain all that.
Can we take the CD44 comment before that comment? Because I think that's the best comment. I mean, I love it.
What is happening right now?
Yeah, honestly, that comment, like that's what I think when I go to the Sox games and I see Andrew Vaughn on the video board, like the worst photo.
Oh yes.
Oh God.
Like,
if I was him, I would have sued the White Sox. I would sue the White Sox for that fucking photo.
It's the worst. It's the worst photo. They did my man no justice, Beef. No.
Sammy, when we first saw that, I said I was convinced Andrew Vaughn was an alien because I'm like they took that picture his first day in human skin, like yeah. He was still adjusting.
This comment from Jackie just almost killed me. The Peter Weller.
For those of you who don't know Peter Weller.
24.
That is RoboCop.
24.
RoboCop, baby.
What was it? 24 too. He was Christopher Henderson, I think, in 24.
Okay.
Yes, there it is.
But I digress.
Into your soul.
All right. So I got a couple more numbers, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here because it's too late here to be on.
We appreciate you, Sam.
He's looking at you, Sam.
Bless you, Sammy.
Oh my God!
He's looking right at you, buddy.
Can you hold it a little bit closer? Like, hold a little bit closer, Jake. A little bit. Yeah, there we go. That is a bad photo, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture of my guy.
Bad. Okay.
That I don't like.
Teams play their divisional opponents 19 times, right? Do I have that right?
I think that was the old days. I think now it's balanced again.
15.
I think it's I'm not sure. It might be 13.
I don't know when it is.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was okay. All right. So shit, this number.
I think they rebalanced. I think that.
Okay. So let's scrap this. Well, because I go back to I go back to being a kid and being like, oh, you play your team like 19 times, right? So I was going to make a number on that.
I think they had just changed it. I mean, that's they used to for a long time. Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's do Corey Lee home runs, and let's make the number. Geez, I'm making this one on the fly because I'm pivoting out of a hole here. Last year he hit 12 last year, 12 in 24.
Yeah. Yep.
So people like this kid, and I don't know that I get it. I mean, he's going to hit fucking ninth. He's not going to hit fourth or fifth. I was going to make Corey Lee's home run number 7.5.
Ooh.
Oh man, I was solidly going to go under whatever you said, and then that number came, and I'm like, ah, shit, because like Kyle Teal's going to eat a lot of his innings later.
That's
in the
the
season.
Issue, right? That's why you take that.
They're coming out of the gates with Corey Lee, and Matt Dice is going to play, but I think they're going to favor Corey Lee. MSS, you go first. What do you got?
The only thing I'm thinking here is I'm just wondering, like, do you throw Corey Lee in on a DH spot? Like, does he get some DH? I bet no.
No, that's the thing. They've gotten guys that can actually hit that will fill in the DH spot. So
yeah. So you're not even going to get that. He doesn't play first. I mean, it's
7.5, dude. Just fire. Like, you don't need your soliloquy. I'm
going to take over. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. Easily under, because last year, 394 plate appearances. I don't think he comes close to that number this year. I think we're looking at something in the high 200s. He'll start out where he gets a bunch or at least a share of the job, and Treasy's right. Kyle Teal comes up and steals up a bunch of that away. And once the kids come, he's the backup. He's playing twice a week. So, I'll go under.
Okay.
I got to go under. I'm going to go 6.
Well, I knew you were going under. I mean, I love Sammy Davis, federal deficit on the under. That's a good one. Okay. Last number, and then I'm out. So apparently our closer is Mike Clevenger, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking.
Word on the street. Word on the street.
Okay, so I did make a number on him. You know, I pivoted off the last number that I didn't make and came out with Corey Lee home runs. Let's go Mike Clevenger saves 22.5. Good number.
We're hitting that. We're hitting that over 49.5 if that's the number.
He makes it, right? What, Teresa?
I'm going to go under, and here's why I'm going to go under. I think he comes out and looks good in the closer position, going max effort. But a guy whose arm snaps in half constantly, going max effort, he's not going to get enough games to get the 22.5. So I'll give him like 10 really nice ones real quick, and then the arm explodes like Dave Dravecki.
So the whole chat is saying under, which means it's definitely going over, right?
Yes.
We know anything. The Sox going to win 54 games, and he's going to save 40 games. You know, like, that's what's going to happen.
MSS, what do you think, buddy?
Dude, I'm under. I got to be under. I just don't.
Oh, this is a hard fucking over. It's going to happen.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
The only thing that's tough for me, but maybe it's not, because they haven't been able to trade this guy any of the years they had him. In the 1 year he had him, he was like a 3.5 win starter. Like, he was a good starting pitcher, and they couldn't even trade him then. So I'm wondering if he's completely untradeable, Treasy, and he's here the entire year, and you don't have anyone. There's no one coming up to become the closer. There's nobody that you're like is the heir apparent. You know, Pre-Lambroa got hurt. He was the guy. That's it. There, you don't have another guy. I don't know. You said 22.5, and 22.5 should be good, but they haven't had a guy save over 10 games since 2022. So that's another problem. The wins have not translated. I mean, Quebec led the team with 9 last year, 9 saves.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over. Fuck it. I'm going over. Fuck you guys. I'm in that go. Let's go.
Well, we can play this game too. Okay, let's make the number 19.5. My Sox summer.
What's how much?
19.5.
I'm tempted. I'm tempted at 19.5. I am tempted at 19.5. Yeah. I just
don't believe in his health. I don't believe in his health. I don't. A guy does too many drugs. I know people that do drugs. They're not healthy. They don't stay healthy. Okay. Yeah, they don't stay healthy.
Look,
never heard.
There's nothing wrong with doing drugs. Okay.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
I know you took an edible before the show, so I don't want to.
Yeah, he's got a pound of mushrooms in him.
You know why I don't do that? No, I did it the other night, and I can't do it. It's too much. I don't want to be that crazy. Yeah.
Sammy, before we let you go, I have one question for you before you go. I know you got to jump right now. So one quick question. What time are we going to see the Fresh Cut Friday video from you tomorrow?
Wow.
Him and the dude right next to each other in the barber chairs. Let's go.
Same cut. Same cut.
Just put a ball on your head and go around.
Go right around.
Just go around. It's off the board, Teresi. It's off the board.
Then you guys can go out and
I want to make bank, bro. I want to get ass.
Get those new haircut.
Sammy, thank you so much for taking time out of your Vegas trip and being nonstop right now for the NCAA tournament to talk White Sox with us. We really do.
Of course. I'm going to show you the view first. I want to walk
outside.
All right,
let's do it. Yeah, let's go out there.
I wanted this team to do in the background.
Oh, wow.
There's where the magic happens, right
there. Are you and Joe sharing? Sammy, you and Joe share that bed or no?
Yeah, we're in the same bed. So we are. I mean, like this is a pretty. I mean, we're
pretty good. Yeah.
Here.
If this laptop goes over the edge, I'm gonna
Elvis
shit.
died right there.
How you doing? What's up?
Hey.
Yeah. Elvis died right there. You see that room right there?
Who's on the balcony next door?
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, so we're out here. But no, I appreciate you boys. You know, it's all peace and love. And you know, if I was sober, this would have been better.
Wow,
You were fantastic.
That's true.
you're pretty lucid, man.
You're
I
immaculate,
like
my
it. It
friend.
was good.
How dare
you
you.
did fine.
It's actually embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing how lucid I was, right?
Get out there and get drunker. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Growing up.
All right.
Have a
Growing
good time,
up,
man. We'll see you
Sammy.
soon.
That's it.
I mean, someone taking time out of their Vegas trip to spend it with
That's
us
true.
on this ridiculous
lovely.
show. I truly appreciate. He's the
Absolutely.
best. So
Yeah. You ready?
yeah, let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
That's right, motherfuckers. I sold another Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. 108 OG Yumper and his lovely wife bought a brand new CX-30 from our friends at Mazda of Orland Park. Thanks to Juan and Mario for hooking our guy up and providing that fabulous customer service Mazda of Orland Park is known for. So take it from me, the best salesperson ever. If you are looking for a new or used vehicle, Mazda of Orland Park will hook you up. Head to MazdaofOrlandPark.com and check out their inventory. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-586-9412. Zoom Zoom. Yeah.
So, fellas, real quick, I gotta give you a little check-in on that. We did the NCAA Survivor Pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
26 people in. It's
Correct.
day one. You got to pick every day. You got to pick a winner.
Yeah.
We're already down to 19.
I lost one of mine. I lost one of mine.
7 are out. I did too. I lost Clemson.
I had two. I lost Clemson. I had Wisconsin got through. So I'm all right with that. I got one
If
of them.
I
too.
knew that you would bet Clemson, Loaf, I would not have bet them.
I didn't bet them until this morning.
Oh,
I was like, I had another one just to add another one. I'm looking through. I'm like, I should bet a lower seed because I had Wisconsin was a 3. I'm like, I'll get a lower seed. They're like, oh, Clemson beat Duke earlier in the year. They should be good.
dude.
And they were not good.
They looked like
They looked-
ass.
They had
And
like 13 points in the first half.
they looked horrible. And then I got a group chat, and we got 2 of my guys got in the survivor pool, and they've been texting the whole time. But they were like, they goes, oh man, they almost pulled it off there at the end. And I was like, fuck them. They didn't deserve to win, and they should lose. They looked like shit. Their execution down the stretch, I was just like, oh, this.
They were down 10 with less than a minute. They lost by 2, Treasy. They had 54 in the second half, 13 in the first half.
They should have had a little bit of fucking confidence in the beginning of that goddamn game and fucking got off their ass and tried to win. They didn't. They did not. Fuck Clemson.
You're getting a little heat in the comments here about the ad read. Need a new ad read. He said we've been busy.
Yeah,
all right.
you know what?
K-Dog, we've had a lot going here with these
Listen.
108 tourney and all this shit. So just take it easy.
How about you fucking sell a Mazda on a fucking podcast and then you tell me how long the ad runs, motherfucker? It's
Well,
actually,
you
I
get
think we're missed next week. There's no podcast because
No
it's
podcast
opening
next
day.
week. Yep.
And then there's only one more week, I think, in March. So like you got it one more time, maybe. Maybe
I
I'll
will
make a
say-
new one. Maybe we'll see.
The Matt Ramsey Power Hour does sell a lot of cars. They're a big
That's true.
Tesla Cybertruck.
That's right. Yeah, no, yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
they've sold thousands of those. So I they're all on fire right now, but they
Yeah.
sold.
Well, it doesn't
and that's the important part.
Let's not bury
Absolutely.
this one either. A guy, Ian, has said he likes the new hoodie. Well, get
There
your
you go,
ass over there
MSS.
and buy one.
There you go.
We
MSS.
appreciate that. Those are up there and they look pretty good. So go head over to our merch site, 108.ing/merch. We got a hoodie available for pre-sale.
Oh, yeah.
So we touched on this. We touched on this just a little bit with when we were talking with Sammy. But Sean Burke has been named the opening day starter, and me and Beef talked about it a bit on the Au Jus this past week. But MSS, we really haven't had a chance to hear what you thought about that because I mean, like, we had talked about this in our group chats and stuff, and like I think most of us were like looking at Davis Martin as like the guy we thought. Or for me, I was like, you know what? I think they're gonna do like the hey, Martin Perez, you came here. Yeah, you know, you took the contract with us. This is your reward for it. This is the only time you've been able to do this in your career. But they go Sean Burke, really out of the box, kind of opening day starter. MSS, what were your thoughts when you heard that?
Well, like I kind of said it already in the other part when we were talking about Burke, you know, with Sammy P. But like, I'm not going to doubt this as much as I doubted Crochet last year. I thought this is a horrible idea. This is just terrible. But now, and then that worked out pretty well. And so I'm looking at this and I go, okay, we got guys in the front office. We have guys in the dugout that I trust, right? And I think that are probably making the right decisions. So if they're seeing this from this guy, Maybe it's the confidence booster he needs to get even more bigger. Or maybe it's the reward for saying, hey, you crushed this spring, which you did. And so go out there and do it. And maybe it sets a precedent for all the other guys that are out there that are trying to, make their way in this team by saying, we will reward your hard work. So if you go out there and you do this, you're going to get it. Because I would have thought Davis Martin too, because you go with somebody that's been there, or Jonathan Cannon, if you would have done a little better in the spring. Like he had a shot. But but I think it's such a good precedent that, hey, listen, if you're going to do the things that we ask you to do and you have some success with it, you're going to get rewarded, and you're going to get rewarded in the playing time. I think same thing with Shane Smith. Hey, you worked your ass off. You performed, you showed up. So we're going to push you through. So I like it. I think it's a good move ish. It probably is going to be total shit now that I like it, but hey, from the outset right now, I'm digging it. I think it's good. I think it's a sign of things.
I agree with you, MSS. Why not take the shot? And there's something I was thinking about. I was listening to SoxMachine the other day, and Vegan was talking about this, and he said something about hey, when you look years from now at the baseball reference page, you're going to see that Sean Burke. It's going to be like a trivia question or something, or you'd be like, why did they do that? And I thought to myself, in a different sense on what he was saying, who on this roster are you going to say, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't start this guy because they started Sean Burke? And it kind of reset my brain a little bit, because we're so ingrained in this, and we're looking at this guy to guy and all these little decisions against one another, when in reality we should be looking at this this team lost 121 games last year. There's a bunch of fucking terrible players on this roster.
Loads.
If I'm the manager, if I'm the GM, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I'm full experiment mode.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to, because what's good? Think about this. We come into opening day with the roster that we think we're going to have, right? Even stuff that Beef, me and you were like, why would you put Chase Mydroth in a position where he's going to be the shortstop and the leadoff hitter?
Right.
Why not? Right?
No one cares anyway. Let's just try it.
If you put him at shortstop to start opening day, if you put Mydroth at shortstop to start opening day, is anyone going to be crying in the streets for Jake Amaya?
No.
Maybe
me, but other than that, no.
Candlelight vigils for Josh Rojas's broken toe,
falling off the curb at Cork, crying for these guys.
It's like the Vargas thing. People are like, I can't believe they're anointing Vargas, the third baseman, after the shitty year he had. Who's he in front of? Who else should play third base?
He's blocking out Brian Ramos, who can't throw the ball.
Oh, the guy's arm fell off, and you're like, well, yeah. So it is time to experiment. It is time to figure things out. This is why as much as I don't have a favorite in the bullpen, I love that anyone in the bullpen can get sent down to the minors at any moment.
Yeah.
And so the Sean Burke thing is just an extension of that. They like Sean Burke. They think that he is a true big league pitcher. He has the most upside in this position. So he gets it.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't need to make Martin Perez feel great. We don't need to reward Davis Martin being adaptable to all the different things we throw at him. We just need to put out the guy that we think has the most upside.
It's funny, Treasy, we're going through all these permutations, but when we first found out about this, we were in the Uber going to Jerry O'Sullivan's St. Patty's Day on the Sunday, the Southside party. And we're talking about it in the Uber. And Quernsey brought up a point that I can't get out of my head. And she said, what if all these guys are kind of even? Because we were talking about, it could have been this guy, that guy. She's like, what if they're all kind of even? But he's the guy they think that could benefit the most from the confidence boost of being the number one starter. And I thought, yeah, soft factors can matter sometimes. And what if that is part of it? Part of it is hey, big boy, we think you're a big boy starter. You're getting this because, you got to be the man. You got to get the mentality that you are the man here. And granted, when it all said and done, if Sean Burke ends up being the fourth starter on a good White Sox team, I think we did well right there, right?
Yeah.
But why not try to make him the man? Why not get them thinking like that? There's no harm in that.
The part two of that comment that's so good, Beef, is that like if you could think of a starting rotation that was more of an even plane in the existence of baseball.
You couldn't find one. I don't think you could find one. It's impossible. It works so well because of this exact situation, you know. Like,
all right,
and I wasn't in that cab ride, by the way. I'm not stealing my baseball or from Cornsey. So I want everyone to know that.
I mean, can I add on one thing to this too? Now, now we watched last year. You brought up MSS as like part of this. Last year, you watched Crochet. You know, they picked him and then said, well, whatever. And we didn't think, no one thought he was going to be there. Then they picked Sean Burke. Do you think we're learning something about the front office and their level of boldness with these things? Like, Trees, you're saying they could try anything now. And they kind of are in some ways.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is like their normal level of boldness, or just circumstantially, like you're saying, because they're terrible? Are we learning something about these guys, about Getz and Barfield and Bannister and the crew, you know?
I guess what I would say is if you had a Crochet available or a Fetty available, that would probably be your pull. I think they would probably get the nod. But like, because that like saying that you're building confidence with one guy, you would be destroying the confidence in these other two guys.
In theory,
the starter
could be
right.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but like I think it's partially the situation you're in, but also like as we just said, they're all kind of equal. Like you can't go, oh, well, this guy's this. So I'm just hoping that these guys are seeing something in him that they're not seeing in the other guys. They're like, hey, this guy's probably got a good shot, you know, opening day, not to go out there and just embarrass himself to hell. So that's something.
Beef, to your question of like, does this tell you anything about the front office? I think it needs to be paired with one thing, and that's the thing that I mentioned a little bit ago. Chase Mydroth needs to make this team. If he makes
do an equal version on that side of the,
if he makes the team, I will believe that they are truly being bold. Experimental and being bold. And it's very easy for them to do it because all they have to do is say Josh Rojas cannot play. He's got to go on the IL.
Yep.
And fuck Brooks Baldwin, which I think they've done a fairly good job of that so far because they're like, everybody's hurt. You can't play shortstop, play left field.
That's true.
So yeah, I think that if we're going to like say like they're truly just they're going all out, they're doing whatever they want. That feels like a whatever they want. If we're there on opening day and Jacob Myers at short and Brooks Baldwin is on the bench, then I don't quite buy into that. I think it's just we had a bunch of guys that are about the same and we decided to take a chance on this guy.
Okay, that makes sense. That's fair. I've been trying to read as much as I can out of this front office and how they do things. I mean, I think there's some stuff that's obvious and some stuff that I still don't have a good grasp of what they're doing, and it's going to take time. You know, it takes years to figure out how do they feel about making these moves. So it's interesting stuff.
So I had a different question for you guys that I almost asked, but then Sammy showed up, so I wanted to get his time in because we knew we had that limited little box of time. But you know, we were talking about Drew Thorpe being injured, and who's the biggest beneficiary of Drew Thorpe being injured? Do you think it's Shane Smith or do you think it's Oscar Colas? Because if Drew Thorpe goes on the 60-day, Colas hangs on to a 40-man roster spot that should not be his at all. Beef, I'll ask you first.
You know, I was thinking about this, looking at this earlier. Like, I think there's a level of Shane Smith does benefit from it, but they may have already made the decision that they were going to put him in the fifth starter role and they were going to ride it, and then they were going to make Drew Thorpe compete. You know, kind of when someone messes up, and then you get your shot in there. I don't know the pecking order out of the group so far. The only guy who it seemed like from last year as an incumbent who obviously had a spot was Johnny Cannon, and he stunk during spring training. You know, you could say the same for Davis Martin too, but he was kind of coming off the injury. But when I was thinking about it more, I was like, the guys who are benefiting from this shit, the guys who've been benefiting from the injuries are guys like Nick Nastrini, who are kind of hanging on to the role of being starter. They're getting close to getting pushed to the bullpen. But as Mason Adams gets hurt, as Drew Thorpe gets hurt, and your internal depth starts wearing away, they're getting a stay of execution. Nick Mastrini's going to stay of execution because we're going to need him. And so like those are the guys. Like I thought a month ago, I thought Kai Bush might be getting lucky because he got hurt, and this will sort itself out a little bit, and then he'll come in clean. No, he got unlucky because other guys got hurt. He might have been the first guy in order to come up if something happens or if a guy on that major league roster gets hurt. So I think it's the guys in the periphery, and some of these guys are close to like you ain't gonna be around no more, like the Jake Eaters of the world. Like Jared Schuster. How many more shots does he have? So those are the guys hanging around the goal that this is their kind of their last shot before they either bend up off the roster completely or just total bullpen guys.
Hey, I don't like Colas. I think that's pretty well known, and I don't think that he's good. But I think there will be plenty of opportunities for him to come up if he's doing really good down in AAA to like play. If he does really well and they're going to need somebody in right, he can earn his way back up to this team and take in that spot. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see it.
Think about it this way, MSS though, right? Like so they've got Tauchman in on a pro contract. They still have Benintendi. They have Austin Slater. They have Michael A. Taylor, all probably all going to be on the pro roster.
Yeah.
And then obviously Luis.
Then but Colas ain't playing center. That's kind of
right. Yeah.
Then you have Dominic Fletcher and Zach DeLoach, both left-handed.
Yeah.
Both better fielders than him from what we've seen. I mean, Zach DeLoach is a bad right fielder. He's better than Oscar Colas. Like it's like the path to the majors seems impossible to me for him.
I mean, you're right. I mean, now that see, you brought something up. My boy, my Dom is down, and that's bad. Like that means that he didn't and he's serviceable, and Colas isn't even serviceable at this point, to be kind of honest.
Yeah, let me ask this a different way. Let me ask this a different way.
Good point. Fuck him.
More likely for the Savannah Bananas or Party Animals, Oscar Colas in the outfield or Joey Gallo pitching.
Oh man, Gallo pitching. I think the name, a recognition from Joey Gallo pitching for the Bananas would be huge. I think it'd be huge. So that's
I think that honestly might be the next step for him.
He's also really tall, so he's kind of freakishly tall. Like that's good. Man, he's like 6'7", 6'8". Like
he could be like the stilts guy.
Can he walk on stilts? Can he walk on stilts? That's the thing we need to know about Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
All right. One last question that we had here, and we touched on this one a little bit too. But like the Mike Clevenger closer situation, why is this our best solution is the question. And Beef, I'll go to you first. Why do you think that they're going with this when there are guys on the roster that you might want to see in that role, albeit unproven?
Unproven group, and no one who's like the obvious person. Like Prelander Burrow was kind of like the obvious. So that guy looks like the closer. But a couple things. One, you don't want to artificially throw a guy in that closer spot unless you have intentions of trading him, because those are the guys that get the arbitration raises that are the highest. Because for whatever reason, the arbitration raises value the saves over all the other stuff. So you kind of want to if you want to keep these guys cheap and around for a while, you want to keep them on that spot. Number two, I think that like they're Mike Clevenger's forced upon them in some way, because we know he's got a friend in the ownership, and it doesn't matter if it's Han as a GM or Getz as a GM. Clevenger finds his fucking way on this roster in some way. And so I think the best way to get him out of everyone else's way and make some use of him is to throw him in that closer spot. And also it takes the pressure off the younger guys that are around here. Clevenger's been, he's 10-year veteran or something like that. Fine. Let him deal with having to be in that spot, And like you had mentioned at the RJ on Monday, Treasy, this is Operation Trade Mike Clevenger any way possible. And I think this is
dying to do it.
Their best route to doing it. So I think those are kind of the reasons. Like Clevenger is he's a miscreant, he's a troublemaker off the field. We know that. What we know of him from we've heard of people inside the clubhouse, he seems to be totally fine, gets along with the other guys, is willing to help out, whatever the fuck. So if he's causing no problems in the clubhouse and you can get him out of the way of everyone else's development, closer seems like a good spot. Throw him there. Hope he succeeds.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, same. I mean,
so then different question to you.
Sure.
If he doesn't make the team, do we know for sure that whoever his friend in ownership is sold to Ishbia?
Sold their shares, right? Yeah. That would be great, right? I mean, that guy seems like a big piece of shit. Like from what we've heard, and if you do some Google searches, you can find out who we're talking about. But like, seems like he's not the greatest guy. And if this guy keeps bouncing in there, he's not bouncing in there because people want him. He's not an asset that's desirable.
Right. Otherwise, someone else will pick him up. But no one else has picked him up.
Not a single soul. It's like it's the Trevor Bauer syndrome too, but like much less. It's like if he was good and he wasn't what people say he is, he'd be on a team. So like,
I thought what else I was going to say is, what if we find out Ishbia's friends with him too?
Well,
he'll be here till he's 50.
You know what? The Ishbias don't look like they're friends with guys that do drugs, but maybe.
You don't know.
Maybe. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. That's true. But yeah, no, it's just, it's a weird thing. And so I don't know. I would say this. We were at the media day on Wednesday, and a lot of times I've been to media day and there's been an air in the room where there's a cockiness that exudes sometimes from the people that work in the front office and that are at media day, and they push it out into the audience, and they talk to people, and they have that was absent on Wednesday. It feels like it is the people that are there understand that we're under a different thing. We're doing something different, and we need fan help. We need media help. We need all this. So it doesn't make any difference with the Clevenger stuff, but I'm just saying it felt different this year than it's felt in any of the other years that I have been there. So I'm really positive that things are changing over there, and there seems to be a little bit of hint of hope. It's not like, oh, this sucks. There could be something coming up, which would be awesome.
So MSS, on that
dope.
topic, I want one thing from you for media day.
Sure.
You're a big funfetti cake guy. We've heard about that in the tub.
Yes.
How was the funfetti
You
cake?
fat drunk. You even forgot you told us how much you love funfetti cakes. So I need to hear this. Let's go.
I mean, the funfetti is fine, I suppose. The cake, Sax on 35th May Spagnola was right behind me, and she loved it, obviously. And Quernsey was across from me, and she was kind of iffy. And I was kind of iffy on it too, because it's so sweet. Funfetti is just sugar on sugar. And you're like, oh, I don't know. It's so sweet. The cookie was good. I like the cookie because they made these little pinwheel cookie that they put in there. That was delicious. And then the little cake bite was good too. When I came home and I told Little Sis Summer and Little Miss Shortstop, I was like, hey, they got a new milkshake. And first thought, they were like, no, we want the campfire milkshake. I'm like, they still have it, but they added another one. They're like, what is it? And I go, you guys are going to love it. What is it? Funfetti. And they're like, oh, so they were very excited. So we will get them over there. The woman, they changed the, it's not the Vizzy View Lounge anymore. It's like the Topo Chico something or another. So the woman that runs that, she came right up to me and said, I remember you from last year. You brought your girls in and they had the shake. I go, yes. And they were in the commercial. She goes, yes. And so she's like, I'm so-and-so. I said, I am so-and-so. I usually use my sack summary to say from the 108. I don't try to use government names there either. But yeah, no. So the girls will be back up there giving a review when they can. So get ready, because the funfetti shake, not great. It's celebration shake. I think it's going to hit with the younger generation. I don't think it's the older generation. It's diabetes, but all of them are diabetes, to be honest. Let's just be serious.
Everything's diabetes.
It's all diabetes.
Everything we put in our mouth is diabetes at this point.
Oh my God.
So yeah, for sure. But fun times over there, and I feel like I just felt a different vibe this year than I felt in other years. I don't know if that's going to equate to wins, but it felt like a lot better, and it's going to be more fun for fans, I feel like.
Well, I can't wait to get back in the stadium myself. I can't wait to see you all on opening day eve at Ramova. 108.ing/Eve. Go get your tickets right now, or use the QR code up in the corner there that's been blocking out part of Beef Loaf's background that he's so pissed off about.
Truthfully, I do not enjoy it in my
I know
right here at all.
Put me up there. I don't give a fuck.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Fixed.
Oh,
Now we can see more of your background.
Much better.
There we go.
There
we go.
I couldn't stretch out. What the fuck?
we can see that fabulous hairline you have there. That you're not bald, Loaf. You're not bald.
Keep it
Well,
up.
now it's
Keep it up,
guys. It is time for thank yous and GFYs. But now that he's up in the top corner, my Suck Summer, you go first.
Let me go first. I want to thank the marketing department and the White Sox media, our guy Colin and Mike, having me out of media day yet once again. Fun times. I love this is like opening day is definitely a holiday, but getting to go a week early and say hi to everybody and get back in the swing, get back to the park is fun. It is really nice. I thank you to the White Sox for showing us a good time and even giving us a pass for Beef Loaf, even though he's big timed us and didn't show up.
I couldn't make it. I got caught up on some work stuff.
That's okay. That's okay, buddy. But yeah, thank you to the Sox for showing us a good time and inviting like tons and tons of influencers, of which I guess I'm an influencer now. I'm not media. But yeah, the influencers, like they brought everybody out. Listen, they got the fans there and they're trying to get the word out. The Korean stuff, unbelievable. Look for some more videos coming soon.
Oh, all right. That sounded weird, but
I know what he's talking about, man.
But I love it.
Let's get a drink from Jerry O'Sullivan. He says, I couldn't catch you guys live tonight. It was great yucking it up with chorizo and beef last Sunday. We drank 4.5 cases of Guinness, which works out to 108 cans. Cheers, boys.
Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, we did drink a lot. I'll be honest with you. That was great. Fun time with your friends, too. I like
don't know
Jerry's
anything about drinking a lot.
I like Jerry's crew. Jerry's friends are a great time. Good.
Oh, my God.
Storytelling and everything is a lot of fun.
Chorizo, we're both the same.
I heard
a bottle a night.
I love it. I heard a shitload of insane stories. I can't get over some of the shit I heard that day.
Oh, yeah. Some eye-opening things.
Yeah, some fun stuff.
Allegedly.
Beef. Who are you thinking of GFY?
This is kind of timely, but I want to thank Derek Wittenberg for creating the best 1 hour and 42 minutes of 30 for 30 that ever existed. Survive in advance. The other day, I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. And I happen to have a channel on that had Survive in Advance on. And that's the story about the 1983 NC State Wolfpack, including Jim Valvano. And Derek Wittenberg was the executive producer on that. And it's timely because, one, it's a great story, and everyone should go watch it. But two, tournament time, and that was an unheralded team that rocketed all the way and won the championship. It's just a great story, a bonding between men and coach and everything. And so thank you for that. I'm glad that exists. I'm glad I could watch it. Every once in a while I watch it, and I really enjoy it.
Good stuff.
I love it.
Teresa, who are you thanking or GFI?
Well, we got to get a drink first, but Jackie Treeran said, my doctor had a pop and abscess on my ass. I apologize for the before the pop, and he said it beats talking about diabetes all day. And then he gave us a drink. He says, here's for making you think about that. Cheers, Jackie.
Ass abscess. Beautiful. Couldn't get better.
Ass.
I got two thank yous real quick. I want to thank Jerry O'Sullivan for having us over this past weekend for the Southside Irish Parade. I mean, I've been going to that thing since I was like 15. This is the first time I drank as much as I did when I was 15. And great time. Really appreciate you having us out. And our Uber driver too. Thank you for driving 8,000 miles around to get us actually to his house. But I also want a quick thank you to our guy Ian Eskridge today, because I come out of a meeting that really sucked, and then I walk in my office and I look at the scores. I see Clemson fucked me in the survivor pool. I go to Twitter and I got a message from Ian, and it is a picture of Andrew Benintendi, and he says, which new metal band from the 2000s was Andrew Benintendi?
Oh, yeah.
When he had the tank top and the headband on with the hair up.
With the lightning bolt.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. Everything else that was going wrong at that moment, I was like, fuck all that. This is excellent. So I appreciate you, Ian. You don't know how perfectly timed that message was. So
Limp Benatendi.
we'll talk to you all soon. Remember, Wednesday, 108.ing/Eve for the opening day Eve show. And Monday, the last day, the final
day
of the 108 tourney, we got Alexis Lopez against Alex Rude. Insane matchup to end it all. I'm very excited about it. We're gonna have a great time. Opening day is Thursday. We are on the quest for 50 wins while we're on the quest for all those 50 drinks. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Greg Hall, the mighty player.